Hi, I'm Jason Weaver. I don't have a heart.
Can I have yours?
And I'm Eric Kostecki.
Today's story is one of true love, as interpreted by someone who has somehow confused terrible vaudeville with courtship.
Will he get the girl? Duh, he's a loser. Why shouldn't he? The question is, which girl?
Could it be the one who punches him into orbit so often that it stops being funny and wasn't even that funny to begin with?
And gets sad when he finds someone who doesn't beat him up?
Eric, tell me we're going to get through this.
Story!
Word around the sandbox is that if a couple enrolls into Tokyo U together, they will live happily ever after. A rumor probably put together by the college's PR department. But that doesn't stop a 5-year-old Keitaro Urashima from promising his heart and future academic aspirations to some girl he can't remember. Nothing else of note happens for the next 15 years of his life, and he is still intent on enrolling in Tokyo U based solely on something he heard when he was 5. Believing in things. What a virgin. And a terrible student, having failed the entrance exam twice. Now, normally, someone this obviously meant to be left out of the gene pool is the last person you would put in charge of something. But then this show might not have been made, and I could have caught up with Game of Thrones by now.
Keitaro's grandmammy invites him to her girls-only hot springs resort, which is in the same town as Tokyo U. What reason will pretend, you ask? To stick him with managing duties while she goes on vacation without saying a word in advance. What a passive-aggressive bitch! Understandably, the girls staying at the Hina Inn find it odd that a man is suddenly there, and in the most mature way possible, they assume he's on a panty raid and attack him in ways that everyone would assume is offensive if the genders were reversed.
The fuck did I do?
After the girls learn Keitaro isn't a pervert, just too much of a tool to evict tenants no matter what they do to him, he is allowed to stay as manager under the conditions that he tries to get into Tokyo U.
Keitaro gets to know the girls as he continues his working and studying and sucking. Naru is the one who hits him the most and is therefore his true love. Kitsune's character is that she gets drunk and sometimes does other things. And something needs to be done about Kaola before she is unleashed into the world of cars and voting booths. They are soon joined by Shinobu. She's shy and sad and just an absolute joy to have around. Also there's Motoko, whose sword can vanquish all manner of rocks and groups of pigs. And thus the land was safe from the creatures of Fork Mountain. Amen. Also, it turns out Naru made a similar promise to the one Keitaro made years ago to get into Tokyo U for happily ever afters. But you can't guess where this is going!
Naru and Keitaro decide to study for the exam together, since Keitaro has the experience of having taken the test before, and Naru is smart enough to actually get in. Unless she loses her situational awareness because she needs to misread something and hit Keitaro. Or because she almost went 2 whole minutes of staying consistent. Keitaro goes 0 for 3 for his exam and drags Naru down with him. To cheer themselves up, they plan separate vacations to the exact same place and run into each other. But their glasses get broken beforehand, so they can't recognize each other. We'll ignore the fact that Naru hardly ever wears glasses, and she can see fine without them for the rest of the series and make this a joke instead. Jason, is that you?
It is! How could you tell?
Well, I recognize you based on your voice, your shortness, and the fact that you responded to your own name.
It's a good thing you did, otherwise we might have wasted a lot of time on a really stupid and forced excuse for a plot.
Well, so do you know where those glasses went?
Sure, they're right over here in this bucket of needles. Eric, don't listen to him! I'm the real jerk! The two of them begin developing the romantic feelings for each other until they get their sights back and decide to 180 right back to not getting along. But not enough to not keep following each other around. They run into a girl named Mutsumi who is directionless, airheaded, and uncoordinated. Therefore, she gets along with Keitaro instantly. She accidentally leads the worst couple since... take your pick. further and further in the opposite direction of the Hinata apartments they're trying to get back to, and starts macking on Keitaro right in front of Naru. Oh, see, she wasn't dumb, she was just a bitch. And a little bi-curious.
They make it back in time to play
Which one of these plots sounds worth making an episode out of? Yeah.
Shut up. Keitaro and a rich guy argue about a date with Naru that doesn't happen. Motoko has a dream about a video game. Everyone plays detective with the rent money. Kala thinks Keitaro is her brother, despite them clearly being different race. Naru becomes a famous singer and then stops, and it's never mentioned again. Motoko is afraid of turtles. If you answered all of the above, congratulations! You have all the qualities to write basic cable.
Reach into this bucket and claim your prize!
Things are once again complicated for Keitaro as he gets a job at Tokyo U to keep the inn running, working for Naru's old tutor, Seta, who she used to have a crush on, and maybe still does.
BAM! Cockblock. Keitaro and the girls spend time with Seta over the summer at a tea house where Naru seems to get over Seta, but Keitaro's not exactly juicing her sluice either. But how could he not be? Just look at all of his attractive qualities he doesn't have. To make things worse, it seems Naru can't have been the little girl Keitaro made the promise to all those years ago, considering she is 3 years younger than him, meaning she would have been only 2 years old. Oh no, he might not get to French the teenage girl that beats him up after all. Life can be so cruel.
Keitaro asks Naru out to celebrate their practice scores being better than complete shit. She agrees, denies it's a date, but then she gets really stuck up about where they go to eat, which wouldn't matter so much if she really liked the guy, making her about as bad as Paul Pod at this point. Sumi interrupts their whirlwind romance for the ages, and ends up third-wheeling them all the way back to her place, where she reveals that she made the Tokyo U sandbox promise thing with a boy she can't remember too. This time, it's going exactly the way you think it is. But Sumi was the girl Keitaro promised college marriage to, then they go out and actually get along. Naru's sister appears to take her home. Grandma Bitch Face comes back to get the inn renovated, so Keitaro is off the hook from the job that she stuck him with. But Sumi tells them that she'll stay with him even if he finds a college other than Tokyo U that he has a better chance of making it into. And all of this is presented as a fucking bad thing!
Kitsune tells Naru that she should fess up to Keitaro she's in love with him, even if it screws things up for him and Mutsumi, because the world would be a better place if more people were selfish and terrible like that. Keitaro decides love without getting hit for no reason is no love at all, goes after Naru, and they get together. He promises to make it in Tokyo U one of these days because there is absolutely no other college he could possibly attend except for maybe these. Granny leaves again so Keitaro can have his do-nothing job he barely did. Mutsumi reopens some ambiguity about who the girl Keitaro made the promise to could be. Like, it might really have been Naru, even though they said it couldn't be earlier, or maybe it was some third girl, for what reason, I don't know, and then let's say they all died in a fire.
Keitaro loses whininess over the course of the series, but since nothing takes its place, he just becomes less of a character than he already was. And he wasn't much to begin with. An amalgamation of nerdy archetypes that make me wonder if someone didn't just go, let's make an anime about Millhouse.
I'm not a nerd, Bart. Nerds are smart.
Scariest part about Naru is that I heard a rumor that the creator of Love Hina based her off of his wife. I don't know how much that's true, but I think the people at this number would like to hear all about it. As catty as she can be towards Naru, Naru's kind of a million times worse, so I'm okay with it. At least she doesn't hit people and openly admits to liking Keitaro instead of dancing around the issue. Not bad, but still not good. Best of the worst. Congratulations.
Everything about this show is formulaic and generic in every sense of the word. Maybe when the show first came out, it was something good, but in today's terms, it's nothing special. No, I didn't really finish the series. Shh, don't tell my subscribers. subscribers that? Because, I just really couldn't. Maybe if it was tied into a drinking game, I could, but I would be afraid of alcohol poisoning.
Love Hina is a bold attempt at making a romantic comedy without understanding romance or comedy. If I had to say something positive about it, it would be that having watched Love Hina, I now have a stronger appreciation for everything that is not Love Hina. Well, we hope you learned a lot today, like that the concept of love as understood by a 5-year-old is totally healthy to bring into adulthood.
Remember, if she hits you, what she's really trying to say is, didn't try hard enough. Bye-bye!
Go away now!
Yeah, that show just didn't get physical comedy.
It's so much more subtle than people give it credit for.
People have been getting it right before animation, or Sean Connery even.
I blame advancing technology.
What do you mean?
It's easier to make something, everybody does it, and crap gets seen more.
Huh.
Yep,